it get excellent is your throttle response. You know, it's not like a gas car where you're pulling a throttle opens and closed. You know, a lot of homemade electric, you touch them and you leap forward, and then you're herky-jerky, you know. I mean, this really is linear. The lighter I touch it, the lighter I go, as opposed to touching it lightly and then boom, and then it moves, you know. So they did a real good job on that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. Welcome to that episode of Jay Leno's Garage. The car we're featuring today, well, I'm going to let you maybe guess what it is. Take a look. Now, these headlights look like a Mini Cooper. I don't really know what this logo means. It looks like some sort of hot air balloon going over a volcano. I don't know what that means. The taillights, I know the taillights are from a Miata. It's got, oh, is this the, oh no, it's got a charging port, so it's electric. Well, it's a pretty car. It's interesting. Got a British emblem here. I don't recognize the wheels. I think they might be bespoke to the car. Well, let's bring the man in responsible for it. If you watch the Property Brothers on HGTV, they are hugely popular. You know, they do these beautiful renovations for homes. In fact, I was on his show with somebody from our staff, so that was a lot of fun. But this was his design. He thought of how he wanted it done, and he sent it off to the people to get it done. His name is Drew Scott. Drew, come on in, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you. See, it's a benefit of having long arms because I can come all the way
that's
across.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Well, I remember you told me you were going to do this, and you know, it turned out quite nice.
Isn't it a cute car? Is that how you want to describe a car? Cute? I think it's so adorable.
I don't know if guys want a cute car.
Totes adorbs this car. It's really totes adorbs.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, cute top.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
it was actually Linda's dress, and I wear it as a shirt.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
blouse.
No. All right. So I know you like British sports cars.
Yeah, I mean, European in general. This is a tribute to my dad, who's from Scotland.
Right.
And so for me, I just wanted, you know, him and I, we would be in Scotland, and he would kind of like just stop me in the street, and we would admire when we see some beautiful old sports car roll by. And for me, it was just trying to create something that's a tribute to my dad that has some of the beauty of those old cars he used to talk about and used to show me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're a master builder and you do amazing renovations. I didn't know you built cars as well.
Well, this is the thing. I've designed so many houses over the years,
Yeah.
and I mean, we've done everything from new development to renovation, rehabs, and also taking old, you know, historic homes and trying to revitalize while keeping the original charm.
Well, you did that for us with David, our producer, this
Exactly.
show, and the director.
Hey, David.
Yeah, there we go.
But it's the thing for me is when I first got into this, you know, a friend of mine, Ant Anstead, helped with this project because he's the master mechanic. He knows cars inside and out.
Well, he's quite famous, actually.
Yeah, he is, and he just, this is his game, whereas homes are my game. And so I said, how hard can designing a car be? Because we wanted something totally new. I'm like, I do houses that are a lot bigger and have a lot more rooms. It's just a car.
How hard could it be?
How hard? And then I got into it and I realized it was hard.
So you're kind of in over your head, is that what you're saying?
I got in a little over my head, but I mean,
and you're tall, so to be over your head.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So I think at the end of the day, when I started to realize it's like, what, 10,000 components all coming together, and even though a house has a lot of different spaces, you can independently work on the design there, whereas here it's all sort of one big shot. But it was fun, and we got it done in the end.
Right, so I know you're an environmental guy.
Yeah.
And so you wanted to build something that was sort of self-sustaining, what's the term?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, renewables is a great thing,
exactly.
and just trying to work off of electricity instead of fossil fuels. And again, I love all these old cars.
Right.
It's just I wanted to have something that was electric, and I've driven electric for years, and so everything about this car sort of speaks to me or my family in some way. Like even where your hand is right now, all that fabric for the chairs and the mid-console, that's my Scott tartan. So that's our Scottish tartan from the Clan Scott.
Well, my mother's from Scotland, Muir, so we have a tartan as well.
We might be related.
We could be. I could be the third brother.
I mean, I want to see that show.
Okay, so you started with Tesla motor.
Yeah.
It's a tube frame built specially?
Yeah, it's a tube frame. I mean, it's, again, I'm not as technical. I can try and sound like I am, but this is a two-tube frame, something about a Miata, you know.
Okay, so you got a lot of Miata pieces in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the body itself Did you and Aunt design this yourself?
Yeah, everything above the Tesla base is all
Well, I
new.
thought you did a good job. It's quite it's hard to draw a car and make it attractive. Something's always out of whack, but it's actually quite pleasant looking. It's nice. It's not intimidating, but it looks aggressive. We've got these cobra-like haunches back here that kind of give it a sense of muscle. It probably weighs a third of what an actual Tesla weighs.
So this is 2,200 pounds. So I think
really 2,200.
Yeah.
Well, a Tesla's 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, so it's just under half, and I think that's one of the reasons it's, when I first got to test drive it, once it was together, actually we're just over here. We're just on off the tarmac at the airport here, and we had planes that were taking off next to us and landing next to us, and it seemed like when we wanted a beautiful shot as I was driving this with the planes in behind, but I kept having to slow down because I was looking way faster than the plane. So I feel if I had wings on this, it would have taken off.
Well, you must look like a circus bear driving this thing.
I mean, that's the
Your
fun.
head's probably up here.
I am tall, so that was one of the trickiest parts. Where the batteries sit, the battery we have up in the middle as well, where the mid-console is, we had to make room for my legs because a lot of the cars that we were modeling off of, if you look at anything from those the Porsche or Jaguars or Aston Martin, whatever it might be, I look big in it. And so we were trying to find a way that we could design it so I could fit nicely in there, sit a little bit lower within the custom seats. And we did it. I mean, I'm still tall. I have a giant torso, but I feel comfortable in the vehicle.
Okay. All right.
And I'm still blown away by the magic of the windshield because it feels so low profile. Yet when I'm driving it,
it does go up and over.
The wind comes up and over still.
Yeah. No, it's great. And again, even the winch, if it was an inch higher, it would look really awkward. So I think proportionally, you have a good sense of proportion. It's a good looking car. It looks like a Cobra from this point back, especially with the haunches and all that.
The only thing that was more originally from me inspired by an American car instead of the European cars were the side vents. That's more like a Corvette back here.
Oh yeah, the scallops.
Yeah. But everything else, it's just that whole mix. I know what I like the look of, but you're right. When I was designing this and working with Ant, every time we were going in a certain direction, one end of the vehicle looked weird, or originally the windshield was 1.5 inches taller and it looked funny. It looked like a clown car. And so eventually coming back to where we are, at one point the hood looked way too long, but I liked how rounded it was. It was too boxy at one point. I literally got in here, when we got the frame for what we thought it was going to be, I came in with the saw and started cutting up the fiberglass just to add a few bit more details for what I liked. Expanding the lights. Originally it wasn't the mini size, it was a different size. We also had, the lighting on the front. We didn't have that originally, and I just loved that when you look at some of the old cars. So.
No, it actually looks like a production automobile, but it is a true one-off.
It's a one of a kind.
One of a kind.
I actually named it after my dad's hometown in Scotland, Lanark.
Lanark.
And a Lanark. Who can do a better Scottish? Right, I'll talk like this. This car is so unique. It's actually a tribute to my dad. And my wife made the logo, which is not... It's not, what do you call it? It was a hot air balloon with a volcano.
Yeah, is that a
No, so the thistle is the flower of Scotland.
Oh, the thistle.
Yeah, and then the mountains, that's the Cascade Mountains underneath where my parents, they lived in the Rocky Mountains most of their life. So it's sort of bringing his two aspects of his life together where he lived.
Can you say murder? See, nobody says say murder like the Scotch.
Murder. Murder.
It's murder.
It's a lot of spitting as well.
A lot of murder.
It's cool. The funny thing is, my dad has not we built this, and I still have not been able to give him the final drive in this as a tribute to him, as well. He's seen it.
Oh, okay.
But he did, at the time we were still working on it, he didn't get to drive. So I'm excited after today, taking it home, he's going to get a little drive.
And you're going to auction it off for charity? Is that what you're going to do with it?
We were talking about it because it's an amazing, this whole experience was amazing to have something like this that is that sort of family tribute. It means a lot to me, but what also means a lot is giving back. And I think if we found, a way to raise money for charity and to be able to have somebody else who's a huge car lover to have something custom like this while still raising money for charity, that'd be amazing.
Well, let's show them what they'd be getting here. Can we open this up?
Let's open up.
Now, this is the hood. Under here, do we have the electric motor under here?
Yeah, gonna push there. You got
Okay.
And pop
Can
this
you?
out.
Okay, EV West. Well, sure, I know EV West. They did some work on it as well. The motor's in the back. The batteries are here, under here, and this is like some sort of inverter or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and so the batteries, it's actually, we have one battery like this and then two stacked like this.
Right.
And the one reason we had to get that shape was also to make sure we had enough room for tall bodies like me to be able to squeeze in beside. But it ended up working out perfectly with where the mid console would have been.
And you have fewer batteries than it being a big full-size Tesla sedan, right? Or is it?
No, it's the same. It's the same.
Oh, it is.
So that we could do 300 miles on this at full charge. It's I drive a Model S as well. I mean, I have for years before this in the Rivian. To me, that was one of the things. If I want to have this, I have a car that looks beautiful like those old cars, but I don't want it to be something that I can run 100 miles and that's it.
Right.
I want it to be able to survive.
Cool. All right. Hey, let's put that back on.
Sure.
This looks a little tricky. Let's make
Just
sure.
gotta get the front.
Should we slide it in
Yep.
there?
You guys got a little spear through up a little bit.
It's lucky we don't have to check the oil. This would take all day.
Did we get your side? I think we're gonna go your way. Touch. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, are we in? Oh,
And I think we gotta go your way.
kind of like the wedding
touch.
night, All right, hang on.
Did we make it? I think I gotta go your way a little bit.
I can't see. Are we in there? Hang on.
If you lift it a little bit, lift it up, and then yep. Who needs a hinge?
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
There we are.
And then we can drop it in,
Okay.
and then pop her down, and lock and load.
Okay,
So-
that's quite simple. There we go.
One thing that I don't know if we talked about yet, the flag on the side.
Right, the British.
So many people have looked at that and said different things because it's a tribute to my dad who's Scottish.
Right.
However, in the car world, I was told that if you put a Scottish flag on here, everybody's going to be like, why do you have a Scottish flag on a car? That doesn't make sense. And it's inspired by European vehicles, so why don't you have something else on there?
Right.
But I figured British is sort of like a nice midpoint. And this was before Brexit that I put this on there. So.
Right. And plus, Scottish people get mad when they see the British thing on this.
They do. So I kind of haven't mentioned that part to my dad yet.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be like, get that off of there and put the line rampant.
And the trunk is just a trunk, nothing special there. How does that open?
The trunk?
Yeah.
Actually, they did an adjustment here. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's weird that it'd be up front. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we had originally, we didn't have the pull up front, we just added it. So
I see.
in behind there is the motor in action, and if I have my miniature set of golf clubs, I can fit them in here.
Yeah, if you're playing miniature golf, it'd be good.
To me, there were a couple of little things we changed. Originally, we had a wire across here. You can still see actually down there.
Right.
Updated the software a little bit, added a new screen. I wanted to have, it's the same when you have a vintage home, like if you have a historic home and you want to keep the original elements, but today there are certain modern functionalities that you want to have.
Right.
So we obviously try to keep everything looking beautiful and original except for the computer. We're adding a bit of technology.
And these are molded into the body?
Yeah, so these are, it's a separate unit, but it is bolted in.
Okay.
But these seats, they took a form of my buttocks.
Right.
And then they perfectly
I didn't want to think
suited.
about that, but yeah.
If you feel the seat and you feel here, it's very.
I'm okay.
No?
I'm okay. Okay, let's take it for a spin.
Not every day I get chauffeured by Jay Leno.
No. It's funny because you obviously have a power steering in the Tesla, but not in this.
No, yeah, and when we were designing it, I was actually asked if I want power steering. And then I was sort of given, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was given the look like, you're making this very unauthentic. You want to be more authentic. So I said no to power steering.
Oh, okay. Very smooth. A lot of power.
Yeah, the software as well, I do like the way that I can adjust it because, you're probably a better driver than I am. I don't need quite the muscle, quite the power that this car can give me, so I can just turn it down a notch.
You can adjust it, yeah. Brakes are okay. I would probably have a booster on it because you need an awful lot of pressure to stop.
So with these brakes, I can adjust the regenerative element. So you think I should do something more than that?
I like Max Gen because it puts more in, and second of all, it saves your brake pads.
Yeah.
But the one thing they did get excellent is your throttle response. It's not like a gas car where you're pulling a throttle opens and closes. A lot of homemade electric, you touch them and you leap forward, and then you're herky-jerky, This really is linear. The lighter I touch it, the lighter I go, as opposed to touching it lightly and then boom, and then it moves, So they did a real good job on that.
Yeah, and
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that was one of the originals. Again, I don't know cars the way that you would, and so I gave my feedback when we first drove it, and that was one of my notes is that it was very explosive.
Right.
How do we lean into that? And so I'm glad that they got that right.
Yeah, with gas it's easy because you're mixing gasoline and air, so okay. Whereas electricity, it's like an on-off, like a light switch, you know.
Yeah. How's the wind in your face?
Fine.
Yeah, yeah. I did picture my first romantic drive with the wind in my hair in the car with Linda, but you'll have to settle.
Yeah. Well, I can do it with Linda, don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, this is what I actually figured. I'm going to take my dad up into the hills somewhere, and that's the drive I'm going to give him because it'll remind him of being in the backcountry of Scotland where he's from.
This is the perfect California day for this car.
Yeah.
Not too hot, the sun is shining, there's a cool breeze.
You got the mountains out here, everything about it's perfect, yeah. It's also a car like this, a convertible, where I'm from in Canada, 90% of the year you have rain.
Right.
So this is the climate you want to be in for this.
That's right, you have no top of any kind.
Now, that was a decision we made because of my height.
Right.
It would have started to feel like a clown car if it was too high. Yeah.
You ever try to sit in a 55 T-Bird? You're like, oh, you can't do it.
You know, my first fancy car was a T-Bird. I had an 88 Turbo Coupe.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was amazing because it had the turbo, and so it was faster than any of my friends' cars. It also kind of looked a little bit like a ghost car, so everybody on the road thought it could have been a cop.
Yo, yo! Is this the longest ride you've ever taken in it?
This is, yeah. I've only ever done little runs close to the airport.
How does it feel to you?
I mean, it's nice. I think it'll be a different feeling when I'm behind the driver.
Right, right.
But it's, I drove it when it was originally done, and then we had the tweaks done. So you actually get to drive it before I do with all the tweaks.
I mean, it's a perfect car if you live in like a beach community, you know, you can zip around.
Oh, yeah. I was just up in Montecito, and there were a couple of cars like this that are just, you know, no top. You know, they don't go above 30.
Right.
They just cruise along the water. I love when you're driving along, everybody knows you around here, everywhere, and everybody wants to talk to you while you're driving.
I know, it's funny.
How many times have you driven like a car like this and all of a sudden you get a bug in the mouth or something?
Not that often, but once in a while. Because I ride motorcycles, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that if you're using solar panels, it really is free fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you spend a fortune on solar panels and people don't like electric. Well, it takes more power to generate the solar, you know. But it is renewable, and that's pretty cool.
Well, that's the thing is, you know, right now, there isn't enough solar panels manufactured to be able to offset the demand of, you know, the country or the world. But we're setting ourselves up with electrifying homes, electrifying vehicles that will get there eventually. And I've invested in a geothermal company that can bring the cost of geothermal way down. So if we do that between geothermal and solar, all of a sudden we have this cleaner energy. And it's not even just for the planet; it's also for the health of your home and for the health of us.
No, I get no argument. And the thing about, how are you?
So handsome.
Hey, there you go. How are you?
You both are.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
I did notice that she said you were handsome, and then I got the pity handsome after.
That's me. I'm handsome. Yeah, that's a mistake I never make in show business. That girl wouldn't sleep with me when I am 25. She's not going to sleep with me when I'm 65. Okay, it's just a rule. You just, you know.
So out of the electric cars that you have in your collection, what would be your favorite?
Well, that Tesla Plaid is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's the fast accelerating vehicle there is, with the exception of the Rimac, which is $2.7 million, which is also electric.
Right.
So I said, well, okay. And whenever I have to go somewhere far, because there's something about putting $100 in the gas tank in California every couple of days that just rankles me.
Yeah.
It just, you know, it's like, really $100? You know, I had one of those, one of the Dodge TRX, the big truck with the Hemi engine in it.
Yeah.
And on the window sticker, it says 11 miles per gallon. And that's the best you're going to get. I mean, that you know.
Makes you cry.
I mean, I drove it like for the day, then I filled the tank, it was like $160. It was like, jeez.
Yeah, no, that's not fun, and it is what it is, and it's not like we can flip a switch and make everything electric tomorrow. I mean, we're getting there slowly and steadily, and
yeah.
I mean, all the cars that I've always loved up until creating this, or I drive the new Rivian. They've all been combustion, and I love the look of those old European sports cars.
How's the Rivian been for you? Nice?
It's been great. I have no complaints. The software, they've been making their updates and everything's coming along. The only issue I do have right now, which is Rivian doesn't have the infrastructure that Tesla has for charging stations.
Right.
Tesla's opened up their charging stations. However, they're creating a component within the units that it converts the head for you instead of me being able to bring a head converter for my other vehicles. And so unfortunately, I did a trip up the coast here, a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive. I ended up having to go to several different charging stations, and then they weren't working properly. It was such a hassle, it turned into a 10-hour drive.
I know, that's what happens.
Yeah, so as soon as Tesla's infrastructure is ready for other vehicles, that'll help solve a lot of it.
Well, that's where Elon was, he came to my garage in 2007 with the prototype electric car.
Yeah.
Like this, a little roadster. We drove it and it was fast. He said, I'm going to build charging stations, and there'll be free charging. And I'm going like, yeah, right. Yeah, but he was, as he was building that prototype, he was buying the land and building the charge. Thinking so far ahead.
Having that available to everybody with all electrics, it's a great business opportunity, and it's obviously great for us drivers.
It just annoys me how everything has become political.
Yeah.
Like if you like an electric car, then you're also a vegan or whatever it might be. And if you like gas cars, well, you love guns and Trump. You can't have 6 of one or have to.
No, it's annoying. The thing is, I think there are a lot of people out there that you don't have to be extreme anyway.
Right.
I can like not polluting. Like we all know that combustion cars pollute. We all know that.
Right.
But it was a necessity because that was what we had to.
That's what you had. Right.
For the civilization to move forward. Same with our homes, heating our homes. I think that we're moving in the right direction. I think as a society, we're more educated now on what we can do. And again, too, we focus on family. When renovating homes, we focus on what's important for families. A safe, happy, healthy home and an affordable home.
Yeah.
And now all of these cleaner options are becoming more affordable, so why wouldn't you?
To me, it's like ancient Rome. They had lead forks, lead knives. I'm just going to use lead. I'm happy with it. All right. And you see what happens. They all went crazy and wacky.
And just because I can, I still use lead forks from time to time.
Yeah.
If I don't like my guests, I give them the lead flatware.
Right. It's funny. Well, it's very smooth. It's very tight. With the exception of the seat, which is a little uncomfortable, which I think that can be fixed.
Like I said, this is literally the longest drive I've ever done in the car.
Yeah.
And my butt's falling asleep.
I know.
So at least it's not the engine. At least it's not the motor I need to work on.
No,
it's just the seat.
the drivetrain is excellent. That's 90% of the job on something like this. And the rest is just niggling things that just are annoying,
Niceties,
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the windshield? Does this feel ridiculously small to you?
No, not at all.
I love the view, just coming across here and seeing the view over the mountains.
I know.
So nice.
I love the fact that it's 80 degrees here, and I drive 40 minutes up there and it's snow.
Yeah, I know. We've never hit the hills close by. This winter, we might actually drive somewhere for a bit of snow.
It's only 40 minutes from my garage, and you're up your neck in snow.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. You go up Angeles Crest. You've been on Angeles Crest?
No.
You're like you're in Sicily. You can't see any of LA. You're just constant mountains. Well, Drew, it turned out very nice. I know he's got a few little things to fix, but ultimately, it's very dependable. It's very linear. It's very smooth. A lot of electrics, as we said, just kind of leap when you touch. Someone has done all the right amount of work to make this feel like a gasoline car in terms of you touch the pedal slowly, you go slowly. You touch it hard, you go hard. So I think the hard work is done. Got a few little scratches to put fixed on the front.
Yeah.
But I think whoever gets this will be pretty lucky.
Wait a minute, did you scratch my car?
Well, no, that was on there when it got here.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, thank you, my friend.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Yeah, great job. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this little trip down electric lane, and we'll see you guys next week with more gas cars, I promise.
Whoa, I'm still here.